deceiving, something I should know all about, and Kristen embraced the idea of the new coffee shop from the start. It helped that she already had a partnership going with two women who run a Pink Bean branch/feminist bookshop in Newtown.
"We'll see," Kristen says. "I know she's your aunt, Rocco, but it will also depend on the budget."
Rocco waves her off again. Kristen looks at his fluttering hand as though if he waves it at her one more time, she might very well slap it away. "This is even better than mates' rates, Kristen. This is family." Even I'm curious about meeting Rocco's aunt. I've known him for a long time, but I've never met her. However, I do know all about her long-term partner Samantha suddenly dying of a cerebral hemorrhage last year. Rocco may have cried about it when he was with me, but I'm sure he was a rock for his aunt. He's that kind of guy. As camp as they come, yet with a heart of gold underneath. I love him to bits for both those elements of his personality. A woman on a pale blue racing bicycle stops in front of the window, catching all of our attention. From her lanky form, I can tell it's Liz. She takes off her helmet and straps it to the handlebar of her bike. She waves at us through the window.
"I can't believe there's going to be a Pink Bean in bloody Bondi," she says as she steps inside. "Now that I no longer live here."
"Sorry, darling," Rocco says, "but this is what's happening. You shouldn't have been such a les and moved in with your girlfriend after 2 dates. The 3 lesbians surrounding him protest loudly, telling him off for his inane utterance of clichés. While Liz admires the space, I see a bright red flatbed truck pull up outside. The driver manages to maneuver it into a tight spot, impressing me with their parking skills. Rocco claps his hands together. "Hera's here!" We all watch Hera as she descends from the truck. She stands looking at the building for a split second, just long enough for me to take her in. She's tall, with short, cropped dark hair that is graying slightly at the temples. Her jeans are faded and marred with paint spots. The t-shirt she's wearing is loose and shapeless, but from its sleeves, a pair of bulky biceps protrude. Hera pushes her tortoiseshell glasses up her nose and heads inside.
Chapter 2. Hera. Rocco introduces me to Kristen, Liz, and Katherine. I've heard him talk about Katherine before. I know what she used to do for a living. I've always had a soft spot for Rocco, as he's my only nephew, but I was still hesitant to take on this project, especially when he told me he would be carrying out the interior design of the coffee shop. I glance around and conclude it's a good space. It's light and airy, so it won't feel cramped. "The counter will go here," Rocco says, not wasting any time. He's like an overexcited puppy. It makes me want to pet him to calm him down a little bit, but I'd better not embarrass him in front of his business associates. I know he and Katherine will be running the show, with Katherine putting in most of the money. Apparently, being a hooker allows you to save up quite a sum of cash. Kristen will be lending her brand name and expertise, and is also investing a percentage of the money. What Rocco lacks in cash, he can sure make up for in sheer enthusiasm. I know that much. I'm secretly proud of him for doing this, for making his dream come true. Yeah, life can be so short, he's right to make the most of it. "Rocco has drawn up some plans," Katherine says, "which I'm sure he'll share with you." I point at the backpack slung over my shoulders. "I've studied the plans already." I lock my gaze on Katherine's for an instant. Her eyes are dark and intense. I can see why a woman like her could hire out her, services. I quickly push the thought away. I'm here to help Rocco make his dream come true, not to judge his business associate. He's old enough to make his own decisions. I'm just the builder. I come in, do the work, and leave. I'm here to get a feel for the place. I glance away from Katherine. What you've planned for it shouldn't be a problem from a builder's point of view. I have to admit that though striking as she is, Katherine looks quite different than I pictured. She's much curvier than my idea of a high-class escort, but what do I know? She wears her curves well, however, and maybe that's where the secret lies. And if I'm going to do this job, I really need to get over Rocco's friend's profession, or former profession, as he has assured me. "You'd best not tell your mother who you're hanging out with," I told him when he first told me about Katherine's job. "She won't understand." Rocco had shaken his head in that way he has, adding an exaggerated eye roll and hiss, and said, "Seems to me the one who doesn't understand is sitting right across from me." When he offered me this job, I took it because I needed it. Not so much from a monetary point of view, although at the time Australia wouldn't let us legally marry, Samantha had made me the only beneficiary.